Good evening viewers, how are you all doing today? I'm Maz and today I'll be making another video about my XF. I've owned this car now for about a month and I actually love this car a lot. I think it's quite a really nice executive car, very good left field choice from the usual Germans. But not every car is perfect, so here are some really annoying things about my Jag. So number one in the list is some of the fit and finish in this car are actually quite cheap compared to the usual rivals. So if you come here to this passenger side vent, it's not really a vent, but you can see it's all flexing too much and the material is not really metal. And if you come over to the driver's side, makes this really annoying clicking noise. And I checked this with the dealership and they found out that most of their XFs actually do that too. This theme of cheapening out also carries on the inside. If we look at the door card here, this sounds a bit too hollow and cheap compared to a 5 Series or an Audi A6. And if we come over here, this silver piece of trim doesn't feel like metal to me, if you ask me. So it feels a bit more plasticky. I mean, to be fair, it's not the worst plastic in the world. The second thing I find annoying about this car are actually its pedals. I know it's a very small thing, but it's a really annoying attention to detail. If I again come inside, but this time on the driver's side, if you come in, the accelerator pedal in particular is actually an upwards hanging one. Now most of its rivals, such as the 5 Series and the E-Class, have a large floor mounted one which makes it more symmetrical to its footrest. Number 3 would be the fact that the bonnet releaser, for some reason, is on the passenger side. Despite being a British car, being built in Britain, the bonnet releaser is actually up here. Not sure if I can get this in camera, but I hope you can listen to it creak, which I think is a terrible attention to detail, considering you expect this car to be originally built for British markets, or at least originally conceived within these roads. And while I'm still in the passenger side of the car, the next annoying thing is that the gearbox actually eats into the foot space. So here's the floor obviously, and here's an unexpected hump, and an even bigger hump here. That's roughly where the gearbox would be. So it does eat into legroom. Another annoying thing I found about this car is, now this is more of an option rather than the XF as a whole. This is more towards this particular car, and that is this black piano finish. I think it's too easy to scratch, and it can make this car look a bit tatty in the future. Another annoying thing about this car is the fact that these drive mode selectors are just physical buttons and not a toggle switch like you get in an F-Type. So it's fine when you're stationary, but when you're in the move, especially in national speed limit areas, this can be a bit of a faff to operate. Now the final annoying thing about this car would be its infotainment system. So the volume knob is actually down here towards the passenger side. The annoying part is it makes this really annoying creaking noise, and it's like click click click, and if I do this, it makes a really cheap noise. And the other thing I don't like about this infotainment system is that it's a touchscreen. It is a bit laggy as well, but I've heard the Navi Pro system that doesn't have these buttons is significantly smoother. But I know this is not the only car in the world that uses a touchscreen. It's a very common trend in car interiors, but I wish they gave us an alternative way to control this. Maybe controls on the steering wheel, or maybe a swivel wheel down here. I mean, to be fair, adding a swivel wheel here could confuse the gear selector. I think the gear selector looks really nice in this car, so in this case I'll probably just stick to steering wheel controls. However, these disadvantages are very, very minor, and they're not enough to put me off of this car, as this is a very good all-rounder. And I personally think it looks a lot nicer than the equivalent 5 Series, the G30. And it's certainly a lot more head-turning than the equivalent Audi, the A6. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching me list all the tiny disadvantages about this car, when really they're just minor nitpicks. Subscribe if you are new, like if you liked the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.